How are you doing? Hello, friends. How are you? Hi. So, get this. I know you're wondering why am I awake so freaking late. Um, and basically, when I got out of work, I hit up Taco Cabana because I was starving, and I'm going through a lot in my real life, so eating I felt like having a fat attack, so that's what I did. Um, Besides what's going on with me, that's enough about me. What's going on with you? Oh yeah, I didn't even explain it. So I went, I ate, I ordered 2 bean and cheese tacos and a Pepsi, and it was the best thing I ever ate. Okay. I can't. After I ate, I passed out and I took a fat nap. And now I'm wide awake. So, anyways, um, I think okay about this whole Gerard, Nisha, and Livy. Um, Whenever y'all watch this tomorrow, just hear me out, okay? Yes, I might be, not really thinking correctly because it's the middle of the night. Okay, it's a possibility, but hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. Um, all right. So, no matter what side of the token you are on this whole story and drama, whether you believe he did it, whether you don't believe, either way, I notice we're talking mainly about the women. Liv, how could she do that? If she did it, she's a whore, blah, blah, blah. Nisha, how can she stay with him? How can how can she do that? She's a pick me. She just doesn't care. No matter what happens in this story, we are concentrating on the women. And we're forgetting a big part of this, which is Gerard. Whether he's a victim of his ex-wife, which no, he's not a victim. Hell no, he's not a victim. But whether you think he's a victim or not, which I don't think he's a victim, I think he did what he wanted to do, and that's it. But he wanted attention from a woman so bad that he doubled back and he went with his ex-wife. Whether he did it or not, obviously something happened, because if you see the influx of uploading from the web family, it's kind of suspicious, it's kind of like, hey, everything's fine over here. Look at all of our family videos. Look at us just living life to the fullest. And, the videos I posted of the stories was me being sarcastic, like, do they look miserable? Everything's fine over here was the caption, So just them and all the uploading is kind of giving like, okay, what's really going on? No, I don't believe Liv, because she lies a lot. That's the only reason. Only reason I don't believe her is because she lies a lot. But definitely something happened there. Definitely something happened there. But he wanted the attention so bad, so let's just give him the attention, ladies. So apparently, according to Liv, she isn't the only one that he was sleeping with. He's sleeping with other women. She's just one of many. And according to the Dallas area, okay, he is he's not faithful, and it's known that he's not faithful. Allegedly, okay, according to the YouTube streets, he's I guess, is looking for action pretty frequently. So, my question here, and my whole thumbnail is attention, Dallas women. Okay, whenever they say, like, instead of us like turning against each other as women, debating on whether or not this happened, let's reach out to the women of Dallas and send out an invitation, okay? If you are one of the women on his roster and you're watching all of this unfold, can you please come forward, please? Just because Liv is such a liar, okay? A compulsive liar. She's been lying this whole time she's been on these streets. So it's kind of hard to take her word for it. She has submitted some evidence, okay? But if it's true, if there are all these other women that he is commingling with, can you please come forward and tell your story? Okay, we want to know a few things. Anybody who wants to ask these women anything else, or maybe maybe you were messing around with them. Maybe you were in cahoots with him and are no longer, and you're watching all of this unfold. Maybe he didn't have time for you anymore when he was fucking around with Liv. Is that you? Did that happen? If so, we need to know how long you and him were in a relationship, or messing around. Was he also making, like, doing pillow talk and promising you trips for your birthday? Was he also telling you to go live while he was sitting there cheating on his wife? Did you have any interaction with Nisha? Did she find out that y'all were messing around? Did she call you and say, why are you talking to my husband? Like, we need to know details, because your story counts as well. Okay. Did you know he was married? Was this an agreement, or did he say he wasn't married? Did he ever mention anything about his ex-wife? How much did you know about him? Where would y'all meet up? Would he come to your house? Would he go to your house? How often were these interactions happening? Because if Antonisha is willing to turn the blind eye and act as if everything is all, great over there, if somebody else comes forward and gives their story, then maybe Antonisha will listen. Okay. Maybe she's in denial. Maybe he told her, oh no, we're not fucking around. She's fucking crazy. You know how she is. Did he do the old excuses that men do? Like, did he come up with 1,001 excuses and she bought it just to spite Liv? Like, we need another story to back up the current, okay? And please come forward to whichever reactor you would like to, any of them, any reactor. I would suggest not the current spokesperson for Antonisha. I pick somebody else, okay? We have a lot of great, talented women that are reactors in this sector, in the mommy sector. So reach out to one of I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying somebody else that's not currently a spokesperson for Antonisha. Okay, just anybody else, please. Anybody else. Come forward to anybody else and tell your story and let us know what happened. Like, are y'all still together? Are y'all not still together? We need to know the details, because this man needs to be aired out, because he wants attention from women so bad outside of his marriage. So let's give it to him. Let's give him the attention that he wants and so desires. So he can really see what it is. He wants that attention. Well, ladies, let's give it to him. Okay. Um, I I I believe there probably are other women, and I believe that he needs to be aired out. And another thing, if he didn't sleep with Liv, he's not even defending himself. He's not even defending himself. He's not even he's letting his wife he's letting his wife be humiliated in front of everybody. You know, she's there, you know, next to him doing these videos, you know, at these parties and on vacation with him, and he won't even step up and say, you know, say anything on her behalf. You know, he won't even say anything. Like he's just there. Like that she's gonna help him sweep it under the rug, and we're just gonna move on. And I'm gonna release this statement with my publicist, and we're gonna keep it moving, and we're gonna hope people forget. You know, but that's not right. Like say something to your, you know, say no, it's not true. Yes, it's true. I'm only human. You know, or we were not together, which I don't buy that. Them being broken up at the time, I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that one bit. No, I don't. That they were on a break. No, you weren't. No, you weren't on a break. That sounds ridiculous. You're on a break, and then, oh, how convenient for him that y'all were on a break. But what about the whole 5 months? You were on a break for 5 months? Like like, come on now. You released some things, but not everything. So now I'm reaching out to the women of Dallas. Anybody who's fucked around with this man, come forward and tell your story, because your story deserves to be heard. And if it's a shitload of women, oh my God. Oh my gosh. And you can remain anonymous. Whoever you pick to come forward to, you can remain anonymous. I don't think they'll have a problem with that. But they are going to need some sort of proof, some sort of receipts. They're not just going to take your word for it, okay? You're going to need to have something, okay? You're probably going to have to answer some questions, and yeah, and I don't think anybody will judge you. I don't think there's going to be any hate because you're coming forward and you don't have to. I mean, maybe you'll get some, you know, side, you know, comments, but that's the internet for you, you know? So if you have, or is that the name he used? Was his name Gerard, or did he change it up? Like, I need to know who these women are that he's fucking around with, because I don't think this is an isolated incident. He used to cheat on Liv, right, back in the day, when she was pregnant, when she was expecting, before Antonisha. I know a lot of people say, oh, he only cheated with the one woman and he ended up marrying her. Okay, well, what about before that? Before he knew Antonisha, there was some cheating going on when she was pregnant with the babies. Okay, so he's cheated before. Let's not pretend like he hasn't. Okay. The women that he was doing it when she was expecting his children. Like, I mean, they were doing it to each other or whatever, but I mean, still, like, there are other women out there. Okay, we need to know details. We need to know, because he just loves attention from women. Okay, he loves it, you know. So let's give it to him. All right. Anyway, so feel free to reach out to anybody you would like to, and I'll be watching. Okay, bye bye. Y'all have a good night.